What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, so look at I really been paying attention to the Iraqi news. It's starting to look like our boy Al Kazami is actually going to get in there. Okay, as much as I want the parliament to be dissolved. Look, whatever benefits the Iraqi people is what matters the most. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on out there in the real world. Before we get into it, just a quick reminder in case you didn't know this, we have a Facebook group that has the same name as our YouTube channel, Pimpy's Investment Chat. I will leave a link in the description, and I encourage everybody to please come join us. In here, we talk about anything from the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, the Zim dollar, gold and silver, cryptocurrencies, and there are some other interesting things that are being shared in there. Okay, so let's kind of get into this. Okay, this first article here is talking about the Democratic Party's response to the demand to disarm and I believe that's Peshmerga. Okay, yeah, I hacked these names up, and determines its decision to participate in the government. Okay, yeah, sorry. When it comes to the Second Amendment here in the United States, I'm a huge proponent of it. I think it's important. It allows the people to protect themselves from a government of tyranny. So when I see other countries are talking about whether they should surrender their rights to bear arms, yeah, I can't help but just kind of reflect on what we got going on here. I want you to keep in mind about something. The average length of time for other countries' so-called constitution, between 27 and 33 years. That's the longest it has survived. In the United States, our constitution has survived well over 250 years. And there's a reason for that. And the Second Amendment is the biggest part of that. So when I see other countries contemplate on whether or not they should surrender their arms, I'm not a fan of it. I think the citizens should have the right to own and possess arms just in case. Just in case. Look what's going on in China. Look what's going on in Hong Kong. All right? If these people had a right to fight back, they would. Okay? They don't have to deal with the type of government that they're putting up with. I can say the same thing about a lot of these other countries, especially in the Middle East. So, not that I want to get into this long lecture about our amendments and rights. So, anyways, they're in here talking about whether these people should surrender their arms. Not a fan of it. All right, just not a fan of it. Anyways, it's a pretty long article. As usual, I will leave a link to all the articles that we talk about. Okay? This is the time to officially announce the government of Mustafa al-Kazami. Sabinya. I'm just kidding. I wasn't going to go there. Mustafa. All right, so well-informed political sources in Baghdad reveal that the prime minister designate Al-Kazami is urging the way forward in order to finish writing his government programs. So this guy's got some great ideas for programs, and these are things that we spoke about before. So what are the things he wants to talk about? Well, his priorities are going to be confronting the coronavirus, setting quick remedies for the crumbling economy. Pimpy has an idea how they can help fix part of their economy, and I'm sure you guys will all agree with this. How about they raise the rate? That will help. I'm just throwing that out there, not saying they'll listen to me, but the IMF magically decided to increase the number of countries that they wanted to do debt forgiveness from 26, 27 up to 111 after I posted my video. I'm not saying that they're listening to me. I'm just saying that's a pretty strange coincidence, don't you think? I'm playing. Okay. So anyway, look, they want to do something about the crumbling economy as well as addressing the corruption that's there. All right. Regulating the status of the foreign forces in Iraq soil. We know that Trump is trying to pull us out of the Middle East, and he's not trying, he's going to do it. Okay. I said this before and I'll say it again. It is time to kick off the training wheels in Iraq and let them put on their big boy pants and do what they need to do. Okay. So look, we kind of figured this is the norm. This is what we're looking for in the PM and the government that's going to be there running Iraq. And that is they need to focus on the Iraqi people and only the Iraqi people for now, okay? So this is just talking about what they're going to be focusing on once they get into government. And they seem pretty positive. They do seem pretty positive, all right? So let's see. Let's vote for them. Let's cheer for them. Let's hope it happens. The International Monetary Fund expects a sharp contraction in the economy this year. Really? Now, a lot of us are not economists, but I'm pretty sure that without an education in the economy, all of us could have made the same prediction. I'm just throwing that out there, okay? So the fund has lowered its forecast for global economical growth this year in light of the uncertain association with the spread of the emerging coronavirus in the world. Well, there are economies around the world that are hurting, and they can kind of blame the coronavirus all they want. I already told you that this was going to happen. We were looking at a worldwide economical crash. Now, whether this helped it or accelerated it, whatever you want to call it, we knew this was going to crash regardless of the coronavirus. Now, what I like about, and that's the chatter out there in the world, is this. There is a huge push to help a lot of the poorest countries and other countries to forgive them of their debt. Just excuse the debt. And that list keeps growing. You know what I'm hoping for? And that is a worldwide debt relief jubilee for the poorest people, not just in certain countries around the world. Yes, I'm talking about Jassara, but you can't have neither one of those without a global currency reset. So let's hope that they all come together, okay? It seems to be heading that direction. Anyways, the IMF is changing its forecast and saying that this year might hurt, but they're expecting Iraq to have a strong rebound. And you can see this in this article. I'm expecting Iraq to have a strong rebound if they can get some stability in the country, okay? This is really good for what they're forecasting. And a lot of people say, hey, Pimpy, so when the rate change happens, are you taking in all your dinar? I said, to be quite honest with you, no. I know. I know some of you have been holding on to your dinar way longer than I have. But I'm really anticipating strong growth in Iraq. So if you're one of the people that have a ton of Iraqi dinar, and we all happen to be blessed with the currency rate changing, and you can afford to do so, I'm just going to voice my opinion and make a suggestion that you hold on to part of that, because I'm anticipating that currency as well as the Vietnam dong to really increase in value. Between Vietnam and what's going out there with those other countries that surround the South China Sea and what's going on in the Middle East. Anyways, in the Middle East, between these two areas, there is a lot of potential economical growth that is going to happen. So that means all the countries that are involved in these areas, I believe you're going to see some strong growth. Now, having said that, that means we have to expect our dollar to shrink in value. That means we have to anticipate that something bad is going to happen here. It remains to be seen, but I do have a lot of faith in what's going on in Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Iraq, Afghanistan, even Iran. Now, I'm going to be the first to say this. I'm going to throw this here on the line. If for some strange reason there is a regime change in Iran, and I'm not saying there's going to be, I'm just saying if there is, let me throw out my candidate on who should run Iran. For those of you my age who remember when Iran took American hostages in the late 70s, that's after the Shah of Iran was taken out of Iran, him and his family. Well, one of his boys is now in his 30s. He is still closely tied to our American government. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just want to put it on my video to say that I was the first to say this. That if there is a change in the government over there in Iran, I'm betting it's going to be the son of the Shah. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. Democrats declares the share of the Kurds Al-Khazami cabin. We already talked about this, all right? You guys, there's a lot of people coming in. The Kurds we know there's a lot of different political blocks that are coming in, making sure that each of their shares of the ministry are being filled with the candidates that they want. So this goes on to talk about it, and constitutionally, especially the Kurds, are allowed to be part of the government, and they're supposed to take part in it. That's what this is talking about. I don't want to bore you with too much of this. So, okay, anyways, so all these articles go on and on to talk about, look, Al-Kazemi seems to be heading in the right direction. It looks like it's going to happen, and nobody seems to be opposing him at the moment. So it looks like we might have our government set, our prime minister set, come this next week in April. Okay, so we'll see. So Tuesday, I think they start the voting. We'll see from there. This is a good article. This makes my heart feel good. Iraqis say they are better off without Soleimani. For those who don't know who he is, okay, in case you forgot, it's just another one of those leaders of a terrorist group that Trump took out. Yes, he's taken out a plethora of terrorist leaders. Okay, General Soleimani is one of them. Okay, and I like the fact that the Iraqi people are just saying out loud. In a month since the death of the top Iranian general, Soleimani was killed, Iraq politicians and analysts, they have observed a number of political and security changes that they view as positive in Iraq. You can go on and read his articles, but basically since he has been killed, it's talking about how a lot of the decisions that are made by politicians, they're starting to get away finally from those Iranian-backed politicians, and there seems to be a strong push for the sovereignty of Iraq without the influence of Iran. We have been pushing this for a long time. For those who don't know, General Soleimani was Soleimani. It's almost like a tsunami, but Soleimani was the leader of the Iraqi Guard, and he was in control of and organizing and operating the proxy wars taking place in several countries. Okay, so the fact that he was killed by the orange man, the bad orange man in America, the Cheeto Bambito, of course, my favorite president of all time, Donald J. Trump, whether you like him or not, this man has killed more leaders of different terrorist groups than any president that's ever taken office, and you got to at least give him credit for that. But anyways, this article goes on to talk about the different opportunities and the benefits of the Iraqi people since he has been killed. All right, this is good. It's a really good article. It makes me feel good. It gives me a lot of hope for what's taking place in Iraq. Okay, so why don't you give this a read? Give me a thumbs up if you like the article, and leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the fact that it looks like finally Iraq is heading in the right direction. All right. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.